this is another one that kind of goes in that same topic, and I have to find somebody who's really educated on the school voucher system to come in and talk, because I am not educated on it. This is another one that leans toward getting more bang for the buck. Getting the money that we're spending in California is probably number one on the list. We need to spend more on education. We need to spend more on education. We spend a gazillion dollars on education, and we are near the bottom, if not at the bottom, in this state. And that is unacceptable. And if you had a teacher that you were paying yourself and your child was failing every single year, you'd fire the teacher. Or you'd fire whatever business you were in. If you were losing every single year, you would make a change. And this school voucher is another one that's kind of comes in on the heels of budget-related talk. It's let's just give the parents some money, a fixed amount, and let them make their own decisions. Another article I've been carrying around, they're talking about the participation in Wisconsin, Indiana, Louisiana, District of Columbia, and the benefits of the school voucher system in these areas. And this is not statewide; these are limited trials, if you will. For example, Wisconsin has 20,000 students in it, and clearly there's more than that in the state. Mm-hmm. So this is one of the articles that I want to get into at some point too. And you talk about education and saving money. And
yeah, I was reading this morning in the Wall Street Journal. They were talking, and it wasn't today's, but they were talking about the president's out there trying to lower financial aid. They're lowering interest rates on student loans, and the students are coming back and saying, "Give us a job, find us a job where we can make some money instead of being not having a position getting out of college." So where do we fight?
Well, I think the teachers unions in California probably too strong to get a voucher system pushed through, and I honestly I don't understand that. I mean, because we have to hire teachers. All it's going to do is going to reshuffle the deck a little bit about maybe where some of them work, and maybe some teachers that are working right now that shouldn't be, and maybe there's some teachers that we should be hiring that should be hired. Sure. So it's going to it's going to reshuffle the deck for sure. I come from a family of teachers and principals, and so we'll have to track somebody down on both sides of this article one day and get into the school vouchers. I think it's unfair that you're told where your student must go, what education your student must have if you don't have something to do about it. Certainly, if you're a person of means, you can sign up a private school and go to Jesuit, or you can do all these different things. But most people can't.
Right.
And my kids go to public school, but I moved into a district where I wanted them to go.
Sure.
That's not an option for a lot of
people. Buying homes are doing that.
Yeah, and that's not an option for a lot of people who can do that. So giving them a voucher and saying, go shop, be smart with your money, go find the right deal for you. I don't see how you look around and say that's a bad idea. But that could be me. So if you have some input on that, you're welcome to do that. 339-1140 or 1-800-920-1140. And Chris, how are we doing on time there before we got to take the break? So I'll figure out. Okay, we're doing okay. So let's get into, we got a couple of people on hold here and on the text as well. Got some student debt things here I want to bring up. We'll bring that up next hour too. Let's see if we can get Steve real quick. Hey, Steve, welcome to Talkin Money. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for taking my calls, guys. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Quick call. I'm just kind of, I'm in my 30s. I'm self-employed. I'm trying to work on my portfolio. I got a question about the 525, I think is what it is. It's a college fund. We don't know if we're going to have kids yet. We want to have kids, all that cool stuff. But I've got a 401k and a Roth going, and I'm wondering, do I open up a 525 whether I know or not if I'm having children? Just to be sure, do I just continue just maxing out my 401k as much as I possibly can? Well,
the program is called a 529.
529.
Yeah, and what it allows anybody to do is it allows you to put in money. Now, so here's the major difference, Steve. And I would say that probably if you don't have kids on the way or you're not sure, I probably would do other things first. So your 401k and those kind of your Roth IRA, not your Roth IRA, but your 401ks, your IRAs, anything you can do that's pre-tax right now allows you to put away money before the government whittles away their taxes on it, and it allows it to grow a little faster. Now there's some thought from people that maybe the Roth IRA is a better way to go, because if you stand and take a look back and say, do I think taxes are going to be cheaper in my future or more expensive in my future? And then whatever you come out on that answer should dictate on what you do. Now, so if you're putting your money in an IRA or something that's pre-tax now, you're thinking that I would rather pay taxes down the road. And that's what most people do. If you're putting money in a 529 plan or a Roth IRA, those funds go in after tax money. So what you're doing in the 529 plan is you're putting in $1 and you're hoping it grows to $3. And when you pull it out for your kids or for any education, it can be your own education, by the way. It doesn't have to be a child.
Oh, wow.
When you pull it out down the road, you can use the money without having to pay the taxes on the gain. Okay, so that's the help. So you can do the 529. I would say that should be maybe your last resort unless you're not maxing out your IRAs and everything else you're doing. Getting rid of any other kind of debt. Make sure you don't have any consumer debt. Get rid of the obvious things first. The 529 would probably be the last on the list, but it is very important, and it is something that you should know. So if you have kids and you've put away a bunch of money in this IRA or it's grown to a bunch of money and your kids say, I'm not going to college, Dad, just give me the money. You can say, you know what? I'm going to college. I'm going to go to a golf school. I'm going to go learn to fly. I'm going to go to an education where I can do something for myself, and you can use the money for your own education. I just can't remember, and I'll check on it during the break. I can't remember if you have to identify an individual or a beneficiary going into it. So my buddy Colin, who listens to the show, can text me the answer. But, Steve, that's a great question, and there is no wrong answer. If you're putting away money and you're saving money, you're on the right path. You just have to decide which path you want to be on.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for your time, guys.
All right, Steve, have a great day. Let's see. We got, Chris, we got another one more minute there. We got another time for call or no? Okay, let's go to Kent on a cell phone. Kent, you got 2 minutes. Let her rip.
Well, public executions on pay-per-view would satisfy people that it really works, and it would probably solve the state's money problems. Going back to gladiator times, people like to watch hideous things like that. And for the people that want to watch it, pay-per-view, they spend $50 to watch people in MMA fighting to see the public execution actually happen. I think it would resolve the state's problems money-wise. I think they'd have extra money after things like that.
All right, so Kent wants MMA out and public hanging in. Do you hold a party when you're having an execution pay-per-view? Yeah, you do. Okay, so what kind of appetizers do you serve at an execution? Because if they're gonna shoot the guy between the head, then that might be a different kind of a food item than a hanging, because some of them might turn your stomach a little bit. So we'll have to come up with a guideline of what is the proper etiquette for having a party at an execution event.
What's that one where you just put your head through and
the guillotine? Yeah, the guillotine. Yeah. Then you could dress up.
It's like a wrestling move too, isn't it?
I'm not sure. I'm not into wrestling. The guillotine is a wrestling move. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. So we've got public education. Oh, I don't have enough time for our school voucher. I tell you what, if you're on hold there. I promise we'll get back to you. We had a couple of school voucher people. This is Talkin Money. We're going to go into hour 2. And if you're texting me, the texts are coming through. I will read them. If you're on the line, please hold. And when we come back, we've got all kinds of giveaway stuff. We haven't even got to the good stuff yet. I've just been BSing my way through the first hour. I need a cookie so bad. We'll be right back.
Where's Mom?